Kings. King Josiah of Judah. The book of law is discovered. During the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah, God's laws were written on the scrolls and read to people so that they could learn and memorize them. Parents were encouraged to teach God's laws to their children. King Hezekiah trusted in the Lord, the God of his ancestors. Judah never had another king like him, either before or after his time. He was faithful to the Lord and never disobeyed him, but carefully kept all the commands that the Lord had given to Moses. But during the reign of King Manasseh, son of King Hezekiah, the scrolls of God's laws were destroyed and burnt. It was thought that there was not a copy left in the land. Instead of obeying God, people worshipped false gods. Prophets and teachers of God's laws were attacked and put to death. Although wicked King Manasseh later pleaded with God to forgive him and changed his wicked ways, the damage had been done. After his death, his 22-year-old son Amon became king of Judah. Amon was 22 years old when he became king of Judah, and he ruled in Jerusalem for 2 years. His mother was Meshullemeth, the daughter of Haruz from the town of Jotbah. Like his father Manasseh, he too sinned against the Lord. He imitated his father's actions and he worshipped the idols that his father had worshipped. He rejected the Lord, the God of his ancestors, and disobeyed the Lord's commands. But unlike his father, he did not become humble and turn to the Lord. He was even more sinful than his father had been. Amon's officials plotted against him and assassinated him in the palace. Then the people of Judah killed Amon's assassins and made his son Josiah as king of Judah. Josiah was 8 years old when he became king of Judah, and he ruled in Jerusalem for 31 years. His mother was Jedidah, the daughter of Adaiah, from the town of Bojkath. Josiah did what was pleasing to the Lord. He followed the example of his ancestor King David, strictly obeying all the laws of God. In the 8th year that Josiah was king, while he was still very young, he began to worship the God of his ancestor King David. 4 years later, he began to destroy the pagan places of worship, the symbols of the goddess Asherah, and all the other idols. By doing all this, he made Judah and Jerusalem ritually clean again. In the 18th year of his reign, King Josiah sent the court secretary Shaphan, the son of Ajaliah and grandson of Meshullam, to the temple with order, "Go to the high priest Hilkiah and get a report on the amount of money that the priests on duty at the entrance to the temple have collected from the people. Tell Hilkiah to give the money to the men who are in charge of the repairs in the temple. They are to pay the carpenters, the builders, and the masons, and buy the timber and the stones used in the repairs. The men in charge of the work are thoroughly honest, so there is no need to require them to account for the funds." So then Shaphan delivered the king's order to the high priest Hilkiah. While the money was being taken out of the storeroom, Hilkiah found the book of the law of the Lord, the law that God had given to Moses. An excited Hilkiah rushed to Shaphan and said, I have found the book of law here in the temple, and gave the book to Shaphan. Then Shaphan took the book and went back to King Josiah to report him. He reported, We have done everything that you commanded. We have taken the money that was kept in the temple and handed it over to the workmen and their supervisors. Then he added, I have here a book that Hilkiah gave me, and he read it aloud to the king. When the king heard the book being read, he tore his clothes in dismay and gave the following order to Hilkiah the priest, to Ahikam son of Shaphan, to Akbor son of Micaiah, to Shaphan the court secretary, and to Josiah the king's attendant, that Go and consult the Lord for me and for all the people of Judah about the teachings of this book. The Lord is angry with us because our ancestors have not obeyed the word of the Lord and have not done what this book says must be done. Hilkiah, Ahikam, Akbor, Shaphan and Josiah went to consult a woman named Huldah, a prophet who lived in the newer part of Jerusalem. They described to her what had happened, and she told them to go back to the king and give him the following message from the Lord. Lord's message. I am going to punish Jerusalem and all its people, as written in the book that the king has read. They have rejected me and have offered sacrifices to other gods, and so have stirred up my anger by all they have done. My anger is aroused against Jerusalem, and it will not die down. As for the king himself, this is what I, the Lord God of Israel, say. You listened to what is written in the book, and you repented and humbled yourself before me, tearing your clothes and weeping, when you heard how I threatened to punish Jerusalem and its people. I will make it a terrifying sight, a place whose name people will use as a curse. But I have heard your prayer, and the punishment which I am going to bring on Jerusalem will not come until after your death. I will let you die in peace. After hearing, the men returned to King Josiah with this message.